That was cool. I liked it. I did like that. What do you think, Ben?
It wasn't very Serj Tankian, was it? Let's be honest. Yeah, no, it was very much him.
I think with Serj Tankian, his voice is so like unique in that sense. If I heard this track and I didn't even know who was writing it, I go straight away, Serj. This is a System of a Down track or a Serj track, you know. The only thing is, it's not a System of a Down track, is it? Because it's a Serj track, which is different, and you know it's different. There isn't that heaviness, the metalness behind it. It's still strange, like System of a Down, which is what I love about it, to be honest. But it hasn't got that depth.
Yeah. Again, Darren's not there, so.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's the one who writes all the cool riffs. You know, so what was his band? He also did his own stuff. He had a band. Darren Malakian had a band. I don't remember what it was called, but he did some very, very cool stuff as well.
Cool.
You know, what you guys were saying about Serj's voice, I think is very interesting. You know, many years back, I think we're talking probably around 2003, 2004. We could look it up. I think James Hetfield was out sick. You know, so he wasn't able to play with Metallica, and so Serj was there, and he actually took over and played with Metallica. And I think only he would manage to turn Metallica into a different band. So basically, he turned Metallica into System of a Down, playing Metallica in this weird, twisted.
That's amazing.
You know, turned around thing. So there's Lars Ulrich playing with Serj Tankian doing some crazy shit. So
that's brilliant.
Cool guy.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the System of a Down old tracks, like for example, if you look at like Toxicity or Chop Suey, even like if you look at something like the whole Mesmerize album and Hypnotize album, the two albums are amazing. I guess it's not a System of a Down track, so I guess I kind of have to leave my System of a Down fanboyness at the back here. And I wouldn't say I would listen to this actively often. It's not really my style, so I'm not going to give it as highly rating as possible. But it's nice to hear Serj's voice, and it's also nice to hear his like no. I love that bit. That was amazing. That was really cool, and that's so Serj, and you know, it's nice to hear that.
Yeah. So how do you rate it finally?
I would rate that probably a 6.7. I would say. Only because I mean I like it, but I wouldn't actively say it's up there with all the tracks I listen to again. Also it's I just miss System of a Down, and you know what? This made me miss them a lot, and I want more music from System of a Down. I want more. Yeah, I'm waiting for those new those tracks. I know they have released actually some those two tracks that they released about the Azerbaijan what's called war, wasn't it? They're talking about
the war with Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Yeah, and they were trying to raise money for it, weren't they? And that was the main reason why they really released it and tried to release trying to get that exposure. And I don't think you can actually talk about Serj Tankian without talking about his philanthropy in that sense. You know, I would say he's always out there.
System of a Down, since their inception, always intended to, you know, speak about the Armenian people. And I think in the past they've had some run-ins. I'm not sure if it was with the Turkish government or someone about the Armenian genocide. And, you know, I don't want to turn this podcast political, but it's something I think many of us know. And obviously the current administration in Turkey has some issues admitting to certain things.
Yeah, I think
anyways. But also, I mean, I think it's not even turning it political. I think most people, including this podcast, obviously, are against the old genocide. It's not the one, really, to be honest.
I think I'm clear on that. If someone's not against genocide, you're feel free to leave and not listen to us.
Yeah. Right. Please feel free to. Fuck off, right?
I'll need to cut that.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry if you need to cut that.
No,
I'll start
that said,
we're
you know, the war.
Go on, Jacopo.
No,
Sorry,
I just wanted to say that in any case, the war is a terrible thing for both sides right now between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and both sides have done terrible things and, you know, need to rein things in. So while events of the past, you know, may influence our opinion, it should not stop us from being objective in you know, in current looks at events.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting as well. Like, I mean, I'm not the biggest System of a Down listener. I'm not the biggest fan, but I know Serj Tankian. I know his philanthropy with the Armenian genocide. Like, he is in himself, he is Armenian, and he supports that. And it's incredible that he has sort of, you know, been so vocal about the issues that are going on there. Because let's be honest, without, you know, it becoming too political, it's not particularly covered in the media, is it? Let's be honest. You need people like this to sort of bring awareness to the issues that are going on in the world, and he's really at the forefront of that particular issue. And, you know, got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, but again, this is something that has sparked a lot of chatter, of course, around Europe as well, because, you know, needing to keep Turkey at bay and happy, and basically because a few years back, of starting with the migrant crisis, they held the power in that sense. And so Europe has had some trouble saying what they needed to say to Turkey for many years. But in any case, going back to the music, Ben, did you give your rating?
What do you think, Ben?
No. So my rating is, I am, again, this is probably going to sound a bit harsh, but I'm not the biggest System of a Down fan. It's just not my particular music taste lies. But I did think that was really good. I did really like it. I think I'm going to give it a 6.5 because I see most System of a Down songs, and therefore Serj Tankian songs, at around a 6. Apart from Chop Suey, which would probably get a 7, or BYOB, which is also probably a 7. But
ruthless.
Based on that factor, I think a 6.5 for that is good.
Yeah.
So solo project from the lead singer. I think that's a good score for me.
Jacopo, what did you think?
Yeah, so like I was saying, Hypnotize and Mesmerize are two of my favorite albums of all time. I think they're masterpieces. I would put those, and like Ben, I would rate those probably entirely, both albums from start to finish, because really it's one big album, at about 8.5, 9.5 for certain songs.
Amazing.
It's the best metal that has ever come out. Some of the greatest artists of all time, in my opinion. Unfortunately, they haven't released much since then, except for, you know, I think a short reunion for those two songs that we mentioned earlier. But in any case, this really feels like a washed up musician coming back 10 years after he last did something great to rehash. And I don't want to seem too harsh because it's a pretty good song. But again, trying to sound like System of a Down used to sound without certain elements. So I think trying to emulate that in order to capture that popularity. And again, I'm not trying to sound that harsh. But because of all the things I've just said, I don't think I can rate this above a 5.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Interesting. And it's funny because you chose this track specifically. Was that the main reason why you wanted to choose this track, to really talk about System of a Down, talk about Serj Tankian?
Well, I was very curious to listen to this song, but you know, unfortunately, it happens a lot when and not just solo artists from bands coming out and doing their own thing, but also bands. There are very, very, very few bands, maybe, if you think of Rolling Stones, but even them, U2, Pink Floyd, that have existed forever and kept doing quality stuff. It's very, very difficult. And most of the time when people try to have a comeback, they're not coming out with high quality stuff. And while I think this isn't too bad, I don't see anything particularly special with it. And from someone like him, I expect art.
Yeah. No, you know what? Fair play. I completely respect your decision on that. And what you've said is completely fair, really. You expect high standards from Serj Tankian, really. But I do realize I have listened to some Serj's his own stuff in the past, away from System of a Down, and I would have never said I've been a massive fan of it. I also do think it's almost like he's almost releasing music for the sake of releasing music in a way, and I think maybe that's something System of a Down, the rest of the band, don't want to do, which kind of almost like it's watered down, isn't it? If you release music every couple of years and it comes watered down and just becomes
sorry,
you can hear it, like it is System of a Down, or you can hear it Serj Tankian, but it's not the same as some of the old albums like Mesmerize or Hypnotize, hypothetically. Then you kind of just want to go, they're okay, they're just doing it to make money or to go tour, to do whatever they want. And I feel like that I don't want to judge straight on just on the song like that. It feel like it is leaning that way in that sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry for coughing, brother. I thought I was on mute.
So that's an 18.2 overall, which is not great. But let's move on to the next track. So we've got Ben. You've chosen a track that I've never heard of from a band I've never heard of.
Yeah, so the band are called Moi. The song's called Don't Look Back. It's one I'd never heard of before. Just sort of stumbled across it. Can't really tell you much about them, but the lead singer, or the main man behind the project, is a Glasgow-based New Zealander. So that adds a bit of an interesting element to it, and hope you enjoy it.